sir.
All right. Let me start the recording. Okay, today I can't record. Someone already started. Okay, that's fine. Yesterday we were talking about introduction of Tableau, how to install Tableau, right? So, do you have any questions before getting started for today's session? No?
No, sir.
Okay, then we are good to start. So, let me share my screen. Is my screen visible for you?
Yes, sir.
Now we have installed Tableau. Okay. So as I told you before, we have two different products in Tableau, right? Like Tableau Desktop and Tableau Public. So Tableau Public is a open source version. Tableau Desktop is a paid version. Okay. So I'm going to open Tableau Desktop first. I have Tableau Desktop in my system. This is how it looks. Okay. I'll also open Tableau Public, both the products, where both are going to look like same. Look at here, this one. This is Tableau Public. Look at the header. Okay, header says that it is a Tableau public product. It's a open source. This is what you have installed in your system. Okay. Interface wise, both looks like same, but some connectors might not be available. Okay. So first let me get started. So I'm going to start with Tableau public only. Okay. So let me keep this Tableau desktop aside and let me start with Tableau public. First of all, I'm going to tell you how to connect with Excel data. Please be on mute who are not talking. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to tell you how to connect with Excel data. Without data, we cannot do anything with Tableau, correct? Because that is what I told you yesterday. So Tableau is a data visualization tool. Without data, I cannot do anything with Tableau because it's a using this tool. I'm going to develop a dashboard. I'm going to build a dashboard. How I can build a dashboard? By connecting any data. So data can be stored in any database or Excel form, right? So obviously we need data. So first of all, I'm going to explain how to connect with Excel data. Okay. In order to connect with anything, right, you need to have connectors, some connectors. For example, if I want to connect with Excel, I need to take the Excel connectors. If I want to connect with PostgreSQL, then I need to have PostgreSQL connectors. So basically, in order to connect with corresponding data, according to where the data stored, I need the connectors. Okay, through that connector only I can connect the data. Here in the left hand side, as you can see, under to a file option, there are some list of connectors. All these are related to file connectors because Excel, text file, JSON, these are file, right? So all if you are going to connect with some file like Excel and JSON or text file, you have to search for a connectors under to a file. Okay. But if you are connecting for database connectors like PostgreSQL, MySQL, Snowflake, these are database related, right? This is when you connect with PostgreSQL, MySQL, that means it's a server based connectors, server based because data stored in server, correct? Cloud. That is why those connectors will be available under to a server. Okay, basically. So that is why that is a way Tableau has segregated connectors in two different segregation. One is to a file, another one is to a server. Okay. according to the database, you can pick right one. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you how to connect the Excel data. So let me pick the Microsoft Excel connector, click on it. Here it will ask you where is your data. So wherever your data, you have to select the data. For example, I'm going to click on this data. I have sample superstore data, which I will share in WhatsApp group for your reference so that you can also connect and play around with this option. Let me click on this and click on open. So once it is open, this is how it looks like. This is the window it will take you through. Okay. In the left hand side under connection, you can find where we have connected. We have connected with Microsoft Excel. That is what it tells. Okay. Under this option, you will be having option called sheets. Here it is going to tell you what are the sheets we have in this data. So let me also open this data and keep aside. Um, so let me tell you one more thing. Once you install Tableau desktop, listen this carefully. Tableau desktop, not Tableau public. Okay. When you install Tableau public, Tableau automatically configure my Tableau repository folder in your system in the documents folder. If you get into documents folder, you can find the folder called my Tableau repository after the installation of Tableau desktop version. Okay. Inside this folder, you can find some settings, some components that are related to Tableau. Okay, so that is a usage of this particular folder. So inside this folder itself, you will be getting this data source folder. Here only you can find sample superstore data. So that is what actually I'm manually sharing. Because when you're installing Tableau public, you will not be getting this folder. Sorry, any questions? Any questions? It seems like someone, it is getting echo for me. Okay, I just muted. Like, so who are talking, please be on mute. Okay. If you have any question, raise your hand. So once I call your name, you can ask your doubt. Okay. So as I told you, once you install Tableau Desktop, you will be getting this folder. Inside this folder, you can find this data source and all. Okay. So let me copy this data and share it through WhatsApp. Uh, Sample data. Yeah, I just shared it. So now we have connected this data. Okay. I'll also open it for my reference. Let me keep it aside. So this is my data. So inside this data, we have 4 sheets left: order sheet, product sheet, people sheet, return sheet. So these sheets will automatically consider as a separate table. Orders table, people table, product table, returns table. Okay. So you have to decide which table you're going to use it in the Tableau. Currently, you have connected with the data, but still you haven't decided which table you're going to use. In order to do that, you have to drag the table and put inside this canvas. That means I'm going to use orders table inside my Tableau. Okay, that is what it means. All right. Okay. Now in the below screen, it gives you the preview of the data basically. Okay. So first 100 records preview, you can find it here with respect to all the data types. Data type, I'll tell you, but data type basically this is what it is. If you want, you can also change the data type here, but I'll tell you what is data type and all. Okay. But basically here you can find all the columns that is available in this table. Just a preview of this data. Okay, you can do preview. in the here this side, right? Here also it is giving preview only, but it is going to give you preview only the column, like what are the columns we have in this data and where it is coming from. Okay, so that detail you can find it here. All right. So for any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So now this is how you can connect with Excel data. It can be any data. Okay, Jagdish Kumar, tell me.
So இப்போ அந்த எக்ஸல் ஷீட் ஓப்பன் பண்ணும்போது we can directly openல if it is for Tableau public means.
Yeah, that is how we opened it, right?
Yeah, like I just confused it with the other thing also. That's why.
What other thing?
Like இப்போ நீங்க காமிச்சீங்கல்ல for desktop we should open like this. I thought like for public also we should open like that.
Yeah, both are same only. The one and only different is if you are using Tableau desktop, right?
Hmm?
You will automatically get this file. Okay, it is already available in the folder called My Tableau repository. Okay, but if you are using Tableau public, you will not be getting that folder. That is why I'm sharing data set separately in the WhatsApp group. Okay, if you are
Okay.
using Tableau public, whichever data set I share it through WhatsApp, right? That you can use it for connecting.
Okay, sir.
Okay, well, that's all. Okay, so don't confuse with Tableau public and Tableau desktop. Both are same only. Both are same, everything. But some feature may not be available in the Tableau public. That is one and only thing. Okay, well, otherwise both are same. That is why I highlighted, like, wherever I come across this kind of difference, that time I'll highlight. Okay, what is that difference? Okay, so this is one thing. This is how you can connect Excel data. Same thing even for Tableau desktop also. So this is my Tableau desktop. Here, look at here. Here also I have Microsoft Excel. Let me click on that. Here it is asking data. So let me target that data. Okay, that's all. This one also giving the same result, right? So take this orders table right here. Here also it is giving the same preview, table preview and all. Okay, for connecting Excel, there is no difference. Both are same. Okay. Next, this is the way like actually you can connect with the Excel data. But what if I want to connect with some database like PostgreSQL, MySQL, Oracle? So one of the example, I'm going to show you how to connect with database. Okay, but that option is not available in the Tableau public because if they give you all the option, then what is the usage of giving paid version? Yeah, that is why. So using this Tableau desktop version, let me close this. I'm going to show you how to connect with Tableau, sorry, PostgreSQL. Okay, so let me open the Tableau desktop version. This is my Tableau desktop version. Under to a server, I can find PostgreSQL connectors here. Even if you click on this more, it is going to give you all the connectors. Look at here. There are so many connectors are available. Okay, these many connectors are available. I can connect with PostgreSQL, Big Data, MySQL, Oracle, Splunk, whatever the database are available, I can connect with any of them. Okay, that is what the full version. But these option you cannot find it in the Tableau public. I'll show you. This is my Tableau public. Let me close this. Let me open a new window. This is the one. Look at here under to a server. Let me click on more. I can find only three connectors: Google Drive, OData, Web Data connectors. Only these three, not more than that. I cannot find PostgreSQL or any other database. So that kind of restriction only you have with the Tableau public. Okay. But for an example, I am going to show you how to connect with PostgreSQL. But it is not mandatory. Just for an example only, I'm going to show you. Okay. So Postgres, search for that connector, PostgreSQL, for example. So I have to provide localhost port, database, username, password. So this information your organization will provide you, because once you get into the project, right, their duty is to tell you where is our data basically. Okay, so they would tell you like, okay, our data is stored in PostgreSQL. This is our server. This is our port. This is our database. Username, password. Everything they will provide you. Okay. So here I have input according to my database. So localhost default port is 5432 for PostgreSQL. Database which I created in the PostgreSQL, which is Postgres. Username, and I want to input with my password. But don't worry, you no need to use this. That is not the mandatory. Just for example only, I'm showing. Look at here, I have successfully connected with PostgreSQL. Okay. Now, after this step, everything is going to same as Excel. So I can take any table and put it in the canvas, whichever table I'm going to use. I have got the preview. That's all. Okay. So this is the way you can connect with Excel, and this is how you can connect with PostgreSQL. Okay. Well, that's all. All right. Okay. Next, I'm going to tell you what is live connection and extract connection. That option also may not be available in the public version, okay, which will only be available in the Tableau desktop version. But this is also not mandatory to build a dashboard. This is just a connection mode, okay. Look at the Tableau public version. Let me connect with Excel data. Excel, open, orders table, put it here. Look at here, here it is not showing anything. But in Tableau desktop version, here it is showing live and extract. Okay, so it's a mandatory option to choose before get into sheet, any sheet. Okay, once you connect the data, you have to choose whether you're going to stay with live connection or extract connection. Okay, this is also one of the interview question. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Okay, I'm going to explain this live and extract connection mode using this image, image representation. Okay, this is my, sorry, this is my Tableau desktop, Tableau desktop or Tableau public, whatever you call it as. Okay, so basically this is my Tableau product. For example, I'm connecting to my data source. Okay, while connecting to my data source, it will ask whether you're going to connect through live mode or extract mode. So this is for live mode. If I connect the data source, this is what data source, but if I when I connect, it will ask, right, whether live or extract. If I choose live, then this is the way it will connect. Directly it will connect. That means there is no intermediate. Okay. So for example, in my live connection, in my data source, I have 1000 records. If I connect with this database with Tableau, in Tableau also I'll be getting 1000 records. Basically, the concept is whatever the records that are available in the database, that records will immediately reflect in my Tableau desktop, Tableau product. Okay, it's a live connection. What are the data available here? Here also it will be available. Okay, because it is connected with live connection. Currently, it contains 1000 records. After that, if it is loading some more records, for example, 50 more records getting loaded in my database. Once it is loaded in my database, it will immediately reflect in my Tableau also. So here also 1050, here also 1050. This is what live connection. Okay, well, now let me tell you what is extract connection. Extract connection means Tableau will create a local copy. What is that local copy? So Tableau will take a snapshot of your data from the database. That is what this static snapshot of data. Basically kind of photocopy. It will take a photocopy of your data and saved in your local machine. That is what this extract. It will be saved in your local machine. Tableau will not render the data directly from the database. It will render the data from this local extract that you have created. Okay. So now in my database, I have 1000 records. So when I create this extract, whatever the data that are available in the database, it will be available in this extract. Okay. And Tableau will render the data from this extract. Fine. But later, after some point, some more records getting loaded in my database. For example, 50 more records getting loaded in my database. This 50 more records will not reflect in my extract until I refresh my extract. There is an option called refresh in my extract. When I hit on the refresh, then only it will create another extract by communicating with the database, and again it will create another extract. Until I do this refresh, it will not be having the updated data. Okay. If I hit on the refresh, then only I'll get the updated data in the Tableau desktop. This is what extract. Extract connection. Okay. So in order to explain this better, let me tell you one simple example. Okay. For example, there is a movie called Terminator. Okay, this Terminator movie, you're going to watch from the YouTube. Okay, but this Terminator movie is about 2 hours. Total length of this movie 2 hours. Okay, but you have already watched this movie for first 1 hour. First half you have already watched. Today you are going to watch this movie from 1 hour immediately. So you are opening YouTube and open Terminator movie, and you are trying to play this movie from 1 hour immediately. Immediately you are trying to buffer this content from 1 hour and trying to play this video content. What would happen? Anyone? Would that load or it will play immediately? Anyone?
It will load.
Why it is getting load? Why?
Because it will play from the start only.
Yeah. My question is why it is getting load?
Because it doesn't save the data that the person has already watched till this.
Exactly. So basically, the content that you're trying to watch not available in your local system. It is available in the cloud. Correct?
Yes.
That is the reason when you click on 1 hour, when you're trying to play that video content from 1 hour, it starts buffering. Basically, it is trying to get the data. Correct? Video content.
Yes.
Based on your internet speed, it is trying to get the data. According to that, it will get played. Okay, so that is the concept. So currently you are accessing data through the live. So the data available in the cloud, you're accessing that based on live. Okay, immediately you're trying to access it. That is why it is getting delayed. This is example for live. This is what live basically. Okay, that is why it is getting low. Now let me give you another scenario. You have download this content from YouTube. The Terminator movie, you have downloaded it. and keep it in your local system. Now you are trying to play this content from 1 hour immediately. Then what would happen? Would that load?
No. Play
No,
immediately.
right? It will play immediately because you have you have already downloaded that content that is available in your local system. You can play from 1 hour or 1.5 hour or wherever you want, right? Basically, and it will start play immediately because the content already available in your local system. This is the example for extract connection. So I told you, no, the content you have downloaded, that is what this extract. So now it is important to refresh this extract. Now I'll tell you why. So I told you, no, the Terminator movie you have downloaded and you keep it in your local system. So this is the downloaded content. Okay. So now after you downloaded this content, after 10 days, what YouTube has decided, they decided to trim this movie is about 1 hour 30 minutes. Somehow they decided to remove some unwanted content or whatever it is. For some reason, now the Terminator movie is about 1 hour 30 minutes only, the length. Would that reflect in your local system automatically?
No.
No, there is no.
Still, the content that is available in your local system, it will show 2 hours only, right?
Yes.
Why it is not showing 1 hour 30 minutes? Because when I was downloading, it was having 2 hours. That is why in my local content, still it is showing 2 hours. If I want to sync up with this content, what should I do? Again, I have to download this content and put it in my local system.
Okay.
Then only I can sync up with this, correct?
Yes.
That is what extract here also. So that is the concept of extract. Extract means it will extract the data and saved in your local machine for fastest access. Okay, speedy access. So, but it will not be having updated data. If I want to get the updated data, again, there is an option called refresh. I have to hit on that refresh. If I hit on this refresh, Tableau will ignore the previous extract, which is previous copy. Again, it will create a new copy.
Sure.
Okay, wow. So that is what extract connection. So this is the example for live and extract connection. Do you have any questions now?
No.
Okay. So just know about it. This is the concept of it. Okay, that definitely it is going to be an interview question. All right. So that is what this one. Okay. Next, next thing I want to tell you in the screen here, there is an option called new custom SQL, correct? But when you connect Excel data, right, you cannot find this option. You can find this option when you connect with database related data, like database connections. For example, MySQL, Oracle, cloud-based database, right? When you connect that database, at that time only you can find this kind of connectors, not connectors, sorry. New custom SQL option. What is this new custom SQL option? It is nothing but I can write any custom query, custom SQL query. Here I can write whatever the SQL query I want. For example, let's start from table name, any table. You can write like, for example, in my original data, I have 150 columns, but I want only 20 columns. Those 20 columns I can select here using SQL query. Or otherwise, I want to generate one table by combination of two different tables. That join I can put it here using SQL query. Based on that, I have to write a query. Based on that, it is going to give me the result. Basically, what I'm trying to say here, you can write whatever the custom SQL you want. Based on that query, it is going to give you the table. That table you can use inside the Tableau. That is what this option. Okay. For example, let me mention this table name account info. Click on OK. So now I have got this table, but this table is coming from not directly, it is coming through the custom SQL. Based on the SQL query I written, based on that, I'm getting this table. Okay, so that is the way it is. Okay, wow. So that is what this custom SQL option. Select. I got this table. Based on the query, I have got this table. Okay, that's all. That is what this option. So union, these are the things I'll tell you later. Okay, so when we want to talk about data modeling and all. Okay, but these are the options we have available in this visual, like in this UI. But apart from this, we have option called filters that I'll tell you later. Okay, while we will talk about the filters separately. That time I'll tell you what is this option and everything. Okay, so but this is the explanation about this window. That's all. Okay, that's all. But after this, we no need to use Tableau desktop. We can use Tableau public itself. Okay. After this, all the options are same. So I have taken an orders table. Now I can see all the preview, like what are the tables, like what are the columns we have, what are the sample rows, column preview, something like that. I can preview it. Then I can get into the sheet number one. So basically, sheet number one is the area where we build a dashboard, where we build a chart. Each and every sheet I'll be building a chart. Later I'll put everything together. Later I'll call this as a dashboard. Okay, that is how it is going to be. Okay, all right. So now let me take you into the sheet number one. Let me click on this sheet number one. All right. So this is how it looks if you get into sheet number one. Okay, so now let me tell you what is data type. So basically, once you get into sheet number one, in the left hand side, you can find all the columns. All the columns. Whatever the table that you have taken, from the table, it is going to show all the columns. Okay, but each and every column automatically mapped under one particular data type. So now we need to understand what is data type. Data type is nothing but I have to tell the Tableau that what kind of data this column is holding. When it comes to data, there are different data. Like, so whole number, decimal number, date and time, string, boolean. So there are so many data types. According to that, I have to tell the Tableau that okay, this column is holding this kind of data type. Okay, but mapping data type will automatically done by Tableau. For example, category is the column. It contains some string data, text data basically, right? So that is why it is automatically mapped under string data type. If you want to know under which data type it has mapped, you have to click on this icon. So that it will tell you based on this data type only it has mapped, something like that. Okay. So now let me tell you one by one, data type one by one. So if your column contains data something like this, 19, 20, 21, some whole number, then you have to map it under number whole. Okay. If your data contains the data something like this, 19.5, then you have to map it under number decimal. Basically, if it is a decimal value, you have to map it under number decimal data type. Okay. Look at here. This one contains number along with decimal value. That is why it is automatically mapped under number decimal data type. And let me check the quantity. Look at the quantity. It contains only whole number. That is why it is mapped under number whole. Okay, you can also check the data. So sales contains a decimal value. That is why it is mapped under number decimal. But quantity contains a whole number. That is why it is mapped under whole number whole. Okay. So according to that, it will work. Okay. All right. Next is string data type. String looks like basically string means text, which would look something like this. Even sometimes mixed with number also. Okay, that is what string. Next, date. Date means if your column contains data something like this, basically date. then you have to map it under date. If your column contains date and time, you have to map it under date and time. For example, something like this. Okay, this is what date and time. Apart from this, we have data type called Boolean. Boolean means if your column tells you true or false, yes or no, then you have to map it under Boolean data type. Basically, true or false. Currently, we don't have any true or false column, but if you come across, it will show T/F. Okay, but I am going to create it manually through the calculation. You no need to know what is calculation and all for now. Just for showing Boolean data type only, I'm going to create calculation. Okay, so let me name this as test calculation. If category equals to then okay, I created some calculation. Look at here, based on my calculation, it has created a separate field which says T/F. That means it's a Boolean data type. Okay, so that is what Boolean data type. If your column says yes or no, look at here, it is going to say only yes or no, true or false. So that is why it is mapped under Boolean data type. Okay, all right. So that is what Boolean. Next, finally, we have data type called geographical. Geographical means location-based data. So if location-based data means if your column contains any address related, for example, city, state, then you have to map it under geographical. Actually, you no need to do that. Tableau will automatically recognize it. But if it fails to do that, you have to fix it. You should know how to fix it. Okay, so basically it's a location related. Okay, for example, look at here, city. Actually, it's a string data type, but on top of it, it has another capability of geographical role also. That is why under geographical role, it has mapped under city. Then only Tableau can plot this in map. It is important to be geographical role should be city. If it is city, yeah, that is actually city column, but it is actual city. Like it has actually it is something related to location layer. So you have to map it under right geographical role. City, yeah, you have to map it under city. Country, yeah, country, you have to map it under. Then only it will recognize it and it will plot into the map. So that is what it is. Basically location related. Okay. All right. So these are the data types we have in Tableau.
It shows the postal code. No? Postal code.
Okay. Tell me, what's your question?
Yeah, the geographical role, what does it show?
Here itself we have zip code now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So basically what is this? For example, Bangalore. Bangalore is the city or state, like something related to location. You can see this as a string. Also, you can think this as a location, right? There are two different character for this particular field. So you have to map it as a string, also geographical role, which is according to the location. That's all. That is what geographical. Basically, you are going to tell what kind of uh, place role. Is it city or state or country or postal code or whatever it is? Okay, that is what. But basically, Tableau will automatically recognize it. Okay, so not only for all the data type, it will automatically recognize it. But sometimes you should know how to switch according to your requirement. Okay. For example, I have got order date. Let's assume it has incorrectly mapped as date and time. Currently, it has recognized this as date and time. But let's assume this is something incorrectly recognized as date and time data type by the Tableau. If you look at this, this is how it looks. Let me click on this exact date. Okay, this is my date. Since this data doesn't contain time, it has assigned default time. So I have to put this in date, appropriate data type. So I have to switch it. So sometime you will also switch the data type, but this is the way you can switch it. So from this, you can switch to this, then it will show appropriately. Okay, so that is the thing also you should know. Okay, so this is the data type and this is the way you can switch it. Okay, so for any questions? Yes, no? Okay, so far it's enough for today. Just go back and practice whatever we have done today. Just go back and practice it. If you come across any doubt, ask in tomorrow's session. Okay. Any questions before wind up the session?
No questions.
No question, sir. We'll practice them.
Okay, then we are good to wind up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.